Welcome back, everybody. My name is Dan Gazaway. I am your mental performance coach. Today I was reminded of something that happened last week. I was giving a talk to about 60 athletes, mainly volleyball players, but there were basketball players, there were wrestlers, and soccer players. But I was invited to this event in Utah, and at the end of an hour speech, I opened it up to some questions, and one of the coaches asked, how do we, you've given this great presentation on work ethic, obviously a mindset. How do we get our athletes to perform at a higher level, but how do they understand what work ethic really is? Some of my athletes aren't working as hard as I know that they can. Now that is a loaded question because there are so many avenues I can go. There are many ways to skin this cat. But I gave a few stories of what work ethic actually looks like. And then I gave some information of what intrinsic motivation truly is and what that looks like as well. Now, I was reminded when I was up on that stage of 3 steps to success that all elite athletes, I believe all elite athletes have. One of them is a clear vision. They know what they want. They know why they want it. If you know any elite performer, they have things written down. They have goals. They have a vision of what they want to accomplish, and they know why they want to do it. The second thing that they have is unyielding belief. Now, from what I understand, it's a belief so strong that regardless of how ridiculous their goals sound in their mind at the time, or maybe to other people, they just know that they're going to accomplish that goal. They believe in it, and they just go after it. The third thing they have, and this is what I wanted to spend the most time on, is they have the right level of action, which is massive action. Now, I know I've talked about this in a podcast or on this YouTube channel, but I'm going to take it a little bit further. People can have an unyielding belief. They can have that clear vision, but if they lack that, if they actually lack that the right level of action, it doesn't matter what 1 and 2 are. It doesn't matter if they have those other 2. What matters is how hard they're working. Are they working on their mindset? Are they working on the physical activities that's going to get them to the next level? Now, to be an elite performer. So I've got some stories here that I'd like to share. One of them, of course, we can't talk about work ethic without talking about Kobe Bryant, but I was also reminded of that story about Alan Stein Jr. He showed up to Kobe Bryant's practice, and Kobe Bryant had 3 practices, and the reason why he had 3 practices is because every other athlete had 2. These are all elite athletes, and Kobe Bryant was at the top of his game anyway. And he may have not had to have had 3 practices, but the reason why he had 3 is everybody else had 2. He was elite. His work ethic was elite. But Alan showed up to that practice and tried to be there at 3:45 because his first practice started at 4 a.m. And Kobe Bryant was already bouncing the ball in the background, and he heard that and he thought, wow, here I was trying to impress Kobe, but he's already working out. He's already putting in the work for his 4 a.m. practice. So Alan Stein Jr. watches Kobe's practice, and he was thinking he would see some 360 dunks. He was thinking he would see this amazing thing like an elite athlete would do. And Kobe was just doing basic drills like any high school athlete would do. And at the end of the practice, Alan Stein Jr. comes up to him and says, hey, Kobe, you're the best in the world. Why are you doing such basic drills? And Kobe answered him and said, why do you think I'm the best in the world? Because I don't get bored of the basics. Now that's a great story about work ethic, about drive, and about doing the mundane. What are you doing in the unseen hours? I'm always waking up. I'm never missing a workout in the morning. These are what elite athletes do. They never miss a workout. They do 1 more rep. I've got another story of resilience from my friend Jim Brogan, who I met at the National Pitching Association through Tom House. Now, Tom House was a great pitching coach. He still is. He works with elite athletes, elite quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Eli Manning, and some current quarterbacks as well. But he was Nolan Ryan's pitching coach and Randy Johnson's pitching coach. He worked with many athletes. Now, I was at one of his camps. I met Jim Brogan, and Jim tells the story about resilience, which I think is great. Jim, from his 7th grade year all the way up through the NBA, he started up in the morning. He made 500 shots in the morning before practice. He'd go to school, and if he had practice, he would practice. And then after practice, after his basketball practice, he would shoot another 500 shots. Now, if you do the math, that's 1,000 shots every single day. And he said he did that 6 days a week. That is a lot of practice. If you add that up through the 6 years he was in junior high and high school and all of those years that he was in the NBA, he said he was resilient. He never missed a day. That is what work ethic looks like. That is work ethic. That is drive. That obviously takes a certain mindset to do that. But we know consistent effort over time is always going to give you the response, or what do I say? It's going to give you the confidence, but it's also going to give you the results that you want. Now, many of you know that I teach pitching lessons, and I've done that for the last 25 years. Now, with that, I give a basic knee drill, and I give other drills. But in this basic knee drill, I also give math. And I say, if you do 30 of these knee drills, you can throw 30 a day. You can throw 30 extra curveballs a day. It's not going to hurt your arm the way that I show them how to do it. I said, if you do 30 a day, 6 days a week, that's 180 reps per week. And I go through all this math, and we multiply it by a year. How many reps they're going to do in a year, how many reps they're going to do in a 5-year period of time. Everybody gets excited, and they're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make sure I do these reps. I promise you. They make that commitment with me. And the fact of the matter is, about 10% of the athletes, they're actually going to do it. And the other 90%, they have the desire to do that, but they don't have the mindset. They don't have the work ethic. They definitely have the skills to do it, but they don't have the discipline. And it's my job as a coach to hold them accountable to those goals. Now, we do a little bit more than knee drills, but that, to me, that is what work ethic looks like. It's showing up every day, never missing a rep, making sure every rep counts. Now, another quick story. Let's just say, I'm going to give you a scenario. Let's just say it's 12-0, you're a baseball player. Elite performance, the difference between an elite performance and a pedestrian performance, in my mind, is making every rep count. And let's say in this situation, it's 12-0, it's the bottom of the 9th inning, and there are 2 outs. You're the last one at bat, and you've got 2 strikes on you. You are going to make that last rep count, and you're going to get a base hit. Because it doesn't matter what the score is. Every opportunity counts for you to get better. Every pitch counts. And you put every ounce of energy into it. Mentally, physically, emotionally, you are there. That is the difference between an elite performance and a pedestrian performance in my mind. Now, my invitation to you today is take these stories, apply them to your life. See yourself in these stories, whether you're an athlete, whether you're a coach or a parent. Teach these to your young athletes. They need to know. That's my invitation to you. It's also to take a look at your schedule and see, is it full of these activities that are going to take me to my real goals in life? If not, it's time to make a change. But that's my invitation for you today. And have a great one. We'll see you next time.